What is going on, everybody? This is Dylan with Dylan Talks Tone, and this is your weekly gear news update. This is where we talk about guitar gear, the new stuff that's come out over the last week. It's still a little bit thin because of, Christmas season. Seems everybody's, just taking some time off and etc. But we've got a few cool things to talk about. Before we do that real quick, I want to remind you of the 2022 Best of Gear end of the year thing that I'm putting together it'll be next week. Last week of the year. I'm trying to leave it to the very last minute. In the description of this video, there is a link to a form that you fill out and you can vote on all of the stuff. So it's going to be like extra gear that has come out, like strings and stuff like that, some interfaces, some stuff like that, and then also best pedal of the year, best amp of the year, and best guitar of the year. And it's all from everything that we've talked about over the last year on this gear news every Wednesday. I left out some of the one-offs and stuff that you can only get 15 of them or something. I've left some of that stuff out, but everything that me and you are going to probably be interested in or buy, the common stuff. So definitely check it out. Super cool. Let's get into some news for this week. And since we're doing it live, if anybody has a couple questions at the end, maybe we can entertain those as well. And of course, I will stop doing what I'm doing for a super chat if it comes in as well. Okay, so first things first, we are going to talk about this. This is the new 6505 series of amp heads. This is to celebrate Peavey's 30 years of those amps. And so 6505, they've got two of them. One is basically the 6505 2, and then 6505 1992 original. So what this is supposedly tonally they're going to be exactly the same, but they've got a couple other updated things, maybe for reliability, I don't know, which is weird to me because isn't that why you make revisions to this thing? So how do you go back to the... Anyway, if you're a 6505 person, there is a ton of stuff. These amps got like 100 knobs on them, and they got a bunch of switches, and they do some pretty cool stuff. Separate standby switches for each channel, multiple channels, all the stuff. They are available at Sweetwater right now. There is a link to them in the description. Well, it's for pre-order. $12.99 and $14.99 for these things, which is pretty... Honestly, that's not terrible. Any kind of tube amp that's out right now is pretty expensive. So, excuse me. Okay, this is live television, so you have to deal with a throat clearing once in a while. Okay, so the next thing we got to talk about is somebody made a Boss doorbell pedal. I think this is actually kind of a spoof thing. I thought it was really funny. We don't normally, I try to bring up these when Fender comes out with a wedding ring or something. I try to talk about it. So Acorn Amplifiers and Pedal Builder Customizer Gear Ant got together and made this kind of spoofy thing. I think it's a one-of-a-kind thing. I think they do these sort of recreations and into other stuff. I think it's pretty funny. I mean, why doesn't Boss come out with a doorbell pedal? I think it's hilarious. So anyway, I just had to share that. I thought it was dumb and fun, but fun. Okay, this is something I wanted to show you because this is incredible. This is Zoom has come out with a new multi-layer IR technology in two effects processors. You see them here. There's one without an expression pedal and one with an expression pedal. The one with the expression pedal obviously has more foot switches. It's more functionable, like it's got more stuff available that it could do, switching possibilities and all that. Now, the interesting thing about this is, and it's really hard for me to not understand, but to explain in a sentence. So what they've done is instead of taken an IR, which is an impulse response, which is basically like a snapshot of how a speaker would act. I guess that's the easiest way to say that. So that when you're playing with a DAW or any other sort of digital type of amp, it gives the model the amp model, more realism because it's trying to mimic what the speaker would do, which you don't have when you're playing with a modeler, right? Most of the time. So that's what that is. So what they've done here, so in the downside to modelers is that, and what people don't understand is that a model, like on a Kemper, for example, well, the way a Kemper is done anyway, it's like a snapshot of a particular sound. Well, the speaker is sort of the same thing. These IRs are, this IR is with this speaker, with this microphone position, with this other microphone position, maybe a room mic, and it's that. And then you have another impulse response with this microphone placement over here, and the distance is different, and all of that sort of stuff. This is the first time I've seen anyway, where the impulse responses are layered. So what they've done is taken multiple impulse responses and tacked them on and made basically 300 combinations of different ways that these impulse responses can act to make it basically more realistic, because you're getting more dimensions than just one single snapshot. This is crazy, and I think it's really cool. Obviously, I think more people are going to do it. Here's the crazy part. I'm going to show you how much this junk costs, because this is crazy to me. $229 with the expression pedal. I don't know. It's available for pre-order at Sweetwater right now. That is interesting, and what I love about it is how as these things develop, as these various digital technologies develop, they're figuring out ways to duplicate or make them more real, and I think it's really cool. Oh man, at that price point, that is pretty insane as well. So that's what I've got this week. This is, like I said, it's a little bit slow. There was only a few stories and a couple that really mattered, the 6505 thing and the multi-effects thing. Check them both out. We've got links to them in the description, and we also have links to that survey. And of course, if you want to help out the channel directly, you can go to Dylan Talks Tone and buy some pickups, because that's what we do. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. I hope you have a good rest of your week, and we see you tomorrow at our live stream Q&A thing at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Also on Friday, we're coming out with another video on Friday. I already shot it and edited it. It is a review. Actually, here, I'll show you. It is a review of the 5 time-based effects from Maestro by Gibson. So those are coming out. That review is coming out on Friday. And it's really cool pedal board too. So you can check that stuff out later this week. Thanks for hanging out, and we will see you all tomorrow.